We stood before the dilapidated house, daring each other. It was Mark, the bravest of us, who suggested we explore. A test of courage, he called it. We were young, our blood buzzing with bravado and a hint of fear. The old house stood at the end of Elm Street, shrouded in an eerie silence. Its paint was peeling, windows boarded up, a testament to years of neglect and decay. A shiver ran down my spine as we crossed the overgrown lawn, the air thick with the smell of damp earth and something faintly metallic. "Last one in's a rotten egg," yelled Mark, already halfway up the porch steps. His laughter echoed in the stillness, a jarring counterpoint to the silence that hung heavy around the house. The floorboards groaned under our combined weight as we stepped into the house. Dust motes danced in the faint slivers of light that pierced through the cracks in the boarded-up windows. The air inside was stale and heavy, thick with the smell of dust and decay. Cobwebs, thick and grey, hung from every corner, and dust lay heavy on the furniture, which was draped in white sheets, giving the impression of ghosts frozen in time. The silence inside was almost deafening, broken only by the sound of our own breathing and the frantic thumping of my heart. We moved deeper into the house, each step raising echoes that seemed to cling to the shadows. The hair on the back of my neck prickled with unease. There was a presence here. I could feel it, watching us from the shadows. A sudden creak from upstairs sent a jolt through me. My breath hitched in my throat, and I spun around, my eyes scanning the darkness, searching for the source of the sound. "Did you hear that?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. Mark, ever the fearless leader, just laughed, his voice echoing unnaturally loud in the stillness. "Relax, it's just the house settling," he said, but I could see the flicker of unease in his eyes. The house held its breath, the silence pressing down on us. We cautiously made our way down a hallway, the air growing colder, the scent of decay stronger. Each room we passed seemed to hold its breath, filled with unseen eyes and whispered secrets. The darkness pulsed with an unseen energy, and I had the unsettling feeling that we were not alone. We reached the end of the hallway, and Mark pushed open a door. The room was dimly lit by a single window, the glass grimy and cobwebbed. And then I saw it, a splash of colour in the otherwise drab and dusty room. A single red balloon bobbing gently in the draught from the broken window. It seemed so out of place, so incongruous in the stillness of the house. My heart pounded against my ribs. A child's balloon. Here! My eyes darted around the room, searching for the child, for an explanation. "What's that?" whispered David, his voice trembling slightly. He reached out a hesitant hand towards the balloon. "Don't," I hissed, pulling him back. There was something about that balloon, something that set my teeth on edge. Section 5, frozen in fear. We entered the room cautiously, our eyes glued to the red balloon. It bobbed there as if held by an invisible hand, and then my gaze shifted, moving past the balloon to the corner of the room. My blood ran cold. Propped up in the corner, its painted smile wide and menacing, sat a clown doll. Its eyes, two cold, dead marbles, seemed to follow our every move. I couldn't breathe, couldn't tear my gaze away from its grotesque grin. "This is messed up," whispered John, his voice tight with fear. He was right. The doll, the balloon, the heavy silence, it was all wrong. This wasn't a game anymore. This was something else, something sinister. Then we heard it, a soft, shuffling sound coming from the floor above. It was slow, deliberate, and it sent shivers crawling down my spine. My blood turned to ice. "We weren't alone. Let's get out of here," I yelled, my voice cracking with panic. We didn't need to be told twice. We turned and ran, our hearts hammering in our chests, the sound of our own terror echoing in our ears. We raced down the hallway, our feet pounding on the wooden floor, each of us desperate to escape the nightmare that had become our reality. The house seemed to press in on us, the shadows stretching and twisting as if alive. We burst out of the house and into the relative safety of the fading light. Gasping for breath, we stumbled onto the overgrown lawn, our chests heaving, our eyes wide with terror. We had made it. Or so we thought. As we huddled together on the porch, catching our breath, I glanced back at the house. The windows, dark and empty, seemed to watch us. And that was when I saw it. A figure, tall and thin, silhouetted in the doorway. It was holding something, but in the fading light, I couldn't quite make out what it was. But I knew. I knew with chilling certainty that we were not alone. The figure in the doorway moved, and a chill ran down my spine. It raised its hand, and in the fading light I saw a flash of red. The balloon. It was holding the red balloon. My blood ran cold. The figure stepped forward, and the light from the setting sun caught its face. It was painted white, the smile grotesquely exaggerated, the eyes two black pits of nothingness. A clown. We were trapped. Terror lent speed to our feet. We scrambled down the porch steps, racing towards the street, towards safety, towards anything but that house and the thing that lurked within. But the clown was faster. It moved with an unnatural speed, its long limbs propelling it forward in a grotesque parody of a dance. The laughter, high-pitched and chilling, echoed after us, a promise of madness and pain. We ran, our lungs burning, our legs screaming for respite. But the clown was relentless, its laughter growing louder, closer. Was there no escape? The street seemed miles away, the houses around us blurring into an indistinguishable mass. I risked a glance over my shoulder. The clown was gaining on us, its grin wider than ever. We were running out of time.